Hi, I wanted to put together a video so you can see what we're talking about. Sometimes when we talk on Facebook, it seems like there's not enough reference to what is actually being reviewed. And this stuff is pretty complicated, and sometimes when we talk about 50 feet or 55 feet or 35 feet, what exactly are you referring to? Are you referring to a project that's been proposed? Are you talking about an ordinance that's going to limit that? And so I wanted to just put together a short video to show you what I'm talking about and where I'm, what my references are. So there's a couple of ways you can get to what was proposed last time at the city council meeting. And I go to the website for the city and I go to this icon for their calendar. And I scroll down to the current date for the most recent city council meeting, which is August 13th. And I click on the city council meeting link down here, and it pops up this dialog box with more details, and I scroll down to the link here. And here we have our agenda, and this is from August 13th. So I'm going to be scrolling down with this scroll bar to the agenda that talks about the height for downtown. And it happens to be under this part of the agenda, under community development. It's AB 101. But I'm also looking in this text and I'm seeing the word height. So I'm going to click on this thing that's a link. And now we get exhibits. So the summary statement that I had talked about before is right here. And here is where they talk about the under building parking is right here in this document. But in addition to that, there's these exhibits. And so the next exhibit that I'm going to go to is the ordinance building height amendment, the PDF. Click on that. It is just now downloading, and I'm going to open that up. So in the ordinance, you have 9 pages, and it starts out with the whereases, and I'm going to scroll down to the therefore, which is about, I don't know, is that 4th page down? It starts with the therefore. This is what they're proposing. The whereases is why they're proposing a change. So they're going to be proposing amending section 17.20.040 of the Snoqualmie Municipal Code. I don't know if you know where the Snoqualmie Municipal Code is, but I'm going to open up a new tab here, and I'm going to go to mrsc.org and hit enter there if you don't know where our codes are. And under research tools, you can go over to Washington City Codes. And it's slow. And I'm going to go to S for Snoqualmie because it has all the different cities' codes. And municipal code. And here you have all the codes. So if you ever want to look at the codes, and here we're talking about something relating to zoning. One of my concerns about this being originally was supposed to be a minor cleanup, but to me, anytime you change height, it's not a minor change. It really deserves the process that you go through for public engagement. And so I push back on, we really need to have this go through a more involved process. So I'm going to go back to what the city's proposing. And so here we have the the ordinance that they're talking about. This is the PDF that was downloaded, and now we're through the whereases and we're down to the therefore. So this is page 4 of this document out of 9 pages. And so 17.20.040, this table, this line item 6 of this table, talks about the 35 feet. The 35 feet is just one part of what would a building would be limited by. And then there are exceptions to that height where they can make it taller. And taller meaning if it has to, taller can be impacted by, and we scroll down farther into this document, by exceptions. So we have one allowable height and size exceptions. So the customary rooftop appurtenances may exceed the applicable height limitation shown in subsection A of this section by a maximum of 4 feet if the area of all appurtenances and screening does not exceed 10% of the total area of the footprint. So it gets really confusing. 4 feet, that doesn't sound like a huge amount. But then as you go down, the director may approve modification to the standards of subsection B5A if this section and then you get down to, and I'm going to skip all of this stuff because there's more conditions. However, I'm interested in height. So this section 3B allows 15 feet above the applicable limitation from subsection A. So now you have 35 feet plus 15 feet. And this is based on the director may approve the modification to the standards. So this is all the director has control of whether or not you can allow this to be a total of 50 feet, including appurtenances. But in addition to the 35 feet and the 15 feet, if they have solar panels, they can add that. And if they have a flood elevation, and that's an unknown number depending on what the elevation of where the building is, so they can add height to accommodate for flood elevation. And in addition to the flood elevation, they can add another foot above that, as in subsection F. So that's what I'm looking at. So the number 55, I'm not sure what they're referring to. I believe that somebody had said they saw in the proposal that the height was going to be about 55 feet. And here we have potentially 50 feet between the section here for 3B, 15 feet above the applicable height limitation can happen here. And there's conditions. However, when you have the director in charge of this, he can definitely interpret this as meeting these conditions. So that's what I wanted to say in regard to the 55 feet. And that's all I have for that. Thanks.